Hey, I'm Boris and today I have a great story, so vote this up if you like it and subscribe to my channel. The title of the story is Deadly Obsession. It was a cold winter night when Lily first met Ollie. She had been sitting in a small cafe in the heart of the city, sipping on a hot chocolate and lost in thought. She had recently moved to the city to start her new job, and she was still trying to adjust to her new surroundings. As she looked out of the window, watching the snow fall gently to the ground, she noticed a man standing outside. He was tall, with broad shoulders and chiseled features. He wore a black leather jacket and a beanie that covered most of his head, but Lily could see his piercing blue eyes. Lily felt drawn to him. She couldn't explain why, but she felt like she had to meet him. She quickly finished her drink and left the cafe, making her way to the door. As she stepped outside, the cold air hit her like a brick wall. She shivered and wrapped her coat tightly around her. She looked around, but the man she had seen earlier was nowhere to be found. Just as she was about to give up and head home, she felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned around to see the man from the cafe standing there. "Excuse me," he said in a deep, smooth voice. "I couldn't help but notice you in the cafe. Would you like to grab a drink with me?" Lily felt a flutter in her stomach. She had never been one for impulsive decisions, but something about this man made her want to take a chance. "Sure," she said, smiling. "I'd like that." They walked to a nearby bar, the snow crunching under their feet as they went. The man introduced himself as Ollie, and Lily couldn't help but notice the way his eyes sparkled when he spoke. They talked for hours, about everything and nothing at all. Lily felt like she had known Ollie for years, even though they had just met. As the night drew to a close, Ollie walked Lily back to her apartment. They stood outside the door, the snow still falling gently around them. "I had a great time tonight," Ollie said, taking Lily's hand in his. "Can I see you again?" Lily felt a surge of excitement. She knew she was taking a risk by agreeing to see him again, but something about Ollie made her want to throw caution to the wind. "I'd like that," she said, smiling up at him. Ollie leaned in and kissed her softly on the lips. Lily felt a jolt of electricity run through her body. She knew she was in trouble. As she watched Ollie walk away, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that she had just met someone who would change her life forever. Little did she know just how right she was. Over the next few weeks, Lily and Ollie saw each other almost every day. They went on dates, explored the city together, and talked about their hopes and dreams. Lily felt like she had finally found someone who understood her. Ollie was kind, funny, and attentive. He always knew just what to say to make her feel better when she was feeling down. But there was something about Ollie that made Lily uneasy. She couldn't quite put her finger on it, but there was a darkness lurking behind his bright blue eyes. It was as if he was hiding something from her, something dangerous. Lily tried to push these thoughts to the back of her mind. She was happy with Ollie, and she didn't want to ruin things by overthinking. But then, one night, Ollie showed up at Lily's apartment unannounced. He was acting strange, fidgety, and tense. "Lily, we need to talk," he said, his voice low and urgent. Lily felt a knot form in her stomach. She could tell that whatever Ollie was about to say was not going to be good. "I have to tell you something," Ollie continued. "Something I've been keeping from you." Lily felt her heart racing in her chest. She knew that whatever was coming next was going to change everything. "I have a problem," Ollie said, his voice shaking slightly. "I have an addiction." Lily felt a wave of relief wash over her. She had been expecting something much worse. "What kind of addiction?" she asked, trying to keep her voice calm. Ollie looked away, unable to meet her eyes. "I'm addicted to gambling," he said finally. "I've been using all of my money, and more, to place bets. I owe a lot of people a lot of money, and they're starting to come after me." Lily felt a cold sweat break out on her forehead. This was worse than she had imagined. "What are we going to do?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know," Ollie said, his eyes pleading with her. "I need your help, Lily. I don't know what to do without you." Lily felt a surge of protectiveness towards Ollie. She knew that he had made a mistake, but she also knew that he was a good person at heart. "We'll figure it out together," she said, taking his hand in hers. Over the next few weeks, Lily and Ollie worked tirelessly to try and fix his problem. They went to support groups, talked to counselors, and even took out a loan to pay off some of Ollie's debts. But despite their efforts, things only seemed to get worse. Ollie became more and more desperate, and Lily felt like she was drowning under the weight of his problems. Then, one night, Lily came home to find Ollie in her apartment, looking more agitated than ever. "What's wrong?" she asked, her heart racing. "They're after me," Ollie said, his voice low and urgent. "I don't know what to do." Lily felt a sense of panic rising in her chest. She knew that Ollie's situation was dangerous, but she had never imagined that it would come to this. "We have to go," she said, grabbing her coat. As they made their way out of the apartment, Lily felt a sense of unease settles over her. She didn't know what was going to happen next, but she knew that things were about to get much, much worse. They walked out into the darkened streets, the only sound of their footsteps echoing on the pavement. Lily tried to stay calm, but her mind was racing with thoughts of what might happen to them. Suddenly, they heard the sound of footsteps coming from behind them. Lily turned around, her heart racing. 3 men were walking towards them, their faces obscured by shadows. "Ollie, who are they?" Lily asked, her voice shaking. "I don't know," Ollie replied, his hand tightening around hers. The men approached them, and one of them stepped forward. "You owe us money," he said, his voice low and menacing. "I know," Ollie said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I'm trying to pay you back." "It's too late for that," the man said, pulling out a knife. Lily felt her heart stop. She knew that they were in serious trouble now. "Please," she said, stepping forward. "There has to be another way. We can work something out." But the men didn't seem interested in listening. They advanced on Lily and Ollie, their knives glinting in the moonlight. Lily felt a surge of adrenaline course through her veins. She knew that they had to fight back if they wanted to survive. She grabbed a nearby trash can lid and used it to block one of the men's knives. Ollie followed her lead, grabbing a piece of pipe from a nearby construction site. Together, they fought back against the men, their hearts pounding in their chests. Lily could feel her hands shaking with fear, but she didn't give up. She knew that she had to keep fighting, no matter what. After what felt like an eternity, the men finally retreated, their knives clattering to the ground. Lily and Ollie stood there, panting and covered in sweat. "We have to go," Lily said, her voice shaking. "We have to get out of here." Ollie nodded, and they started running down the street, their hearts pounding in their chests. As they ran, Lily felt a sense of determination wash over her. She knew that they couldn't give up now, no matter how hard things got. Together, she and Ollie would face whatever came their way, no matter how dangerous or deadly. The adrenaline was still pumping through their veins as they finally made it back to their small apartment. Lily collapsed onto the couch, her heart still racing. "Are you okay?" Ollie asked, kneeling beside her. Lily nodded, taking a deep breath. "I'm okay," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. They sat there in silence for a few moments, both of them trying to catch their breath. Lily couldn't believe what had just happened. It all felt like a nightmare, something that she would wake up from any moment. But the reality of the situation was all too clear. They were in danger, and they had to figure out a way to get out of it. "We can't stay here," Ollie said, his voice firm. Lily knew that he was right. They had to leave the city and start over somewhere new. But how were they going to do that? They barely had any money, and they didn't have any family or friends to turn to. But Lily refused to give up. She knew that they could make it through this, as long as they stuck together. "We'll figure it out," she said, her voice filled with determination. Ollie nodded, a small smile spreading across his face. "Together," he said. They spent the rest of the night making plans, discussing where they could go and what they could do. It wasn't going to be easy, but they were both determined to make it work. As the sun began to rise, they finally fell asleep, exhausted but hopeful for the future. But little did they know, their troubles were far from over. The deadly obsession that had been following them for months was about to take a dark turn, and they would soon find themselves in a fight for their lives. Lily woke up to the sound of her phone buzzing on the coffee table. She groggily reached for it, squinting at the bright screen. It was a message from an unknown number, and her heart skipped a beat as she read the words. "I know where you are. I'm coming for you." Lily felt a cold shiver run down her spine. How did they find them? Were they in danger again? She woke Ollie up and showed him the message, and they both agreed that they needed to leave immediately. They packed a few essentials and left their apartment, not looking back. As they walked down the street, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. She kept looking over her shoulder, but she couldn't see anyone following them. They finally made it to the train station and bought tickets to the next town over. Lily felt a sense of relief wash over her as they boarded the train, but she knew that they couldn't let their guard down just yet. As they settled into their seats, Lily's phone buzzed again. She hesitated for a moment before answering, her heart racing. It was a text from the same unknown number. This time, the message was even more chilling. "You can run, but you can't hide. I'll always find you." Lily felt a lump form in her throat. Who was this person? What did they want from them? She showed Ollie the message, and he took her hand, squeezing it tightly. "We'll get through this," he said, his voice filled with determination. Lily nodded, trying to stay strong. She knew that they had to stick together and keep moving forward, no matter what. As the train pulled out of the station, Lily couldn't help but wonder what lay ahead for them. But one thing was certain, they were in for a fight, and they were going to do everything they could to come out on top. The train ride was long and nerve-wracking. Lily and Ollie sat in tense silence, constantly looking over their shoulders and scanning the faces of the other passengers, wondering if any of them could be the ones stalking them. The unknown number kept sending them more messages, each one more threatening than the last. They didn't dare reply, not wanting to reveal their location or identity. As they approached their destination, Lily's phone buzzed again. She hesitated before checking the message, bracing herself for the worst. But this time, the message was different. It was from an unknown number, but the words were not a threat. They were a warning. "Be careful. They're watching you. They know everything. Get out while you still can." Lily's heart raced as she read the message. Who had sent it? And why were they warning them? She showed Ollie the message, and he immediately went into action. He contacted a friend who lived in the town they were heading to, asking if they could stay with them for a few days until they figured out their next move. When they arrived at the train station, their friend was waiting for them. Lily and Ollie quickly got into his car, relieved to be out of public view. As they drove to their friend's house, Ollie told him everything that had been happening. Their friend listened in shock, promising to do everything he could to help them. Over the next few days, Lily and Ollie stayed with their friend, laying low and trying to come up with a plan. They didn't know who to trust or where to turn. But one thing was certain, they couldn't stay there forever. They had to find a way to put an end to this deadly obsession, once and for all. Lily and Ollie spent several days with their friend, who helped them come up with a plan to deal with the stalker. They decided to hire a private investigator to find out who was behind the threatening messages and stalking. The private investigator was able to track down the stalker, who turned out to be an ex-boyfriend of Lily's from years ago. He had become obsessed with her and couldn't handle the fact that she had moved on with someone else. With the help of the private investigator, the authorities were able to arrest the stalker and charge him with harassment and stalking. Lily and Ollie were finally able to breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that they were safe. They decided to move to a new city, where they could start fresh and put the past behind them. Lily was grateful for Ollie's unwavering support throughout the ordeal, and their relationship grew stronger as a result. Years later, Lily looked back on the experience with a sense of gratitude. It had been a difficult and terrifying time, but it had also taught her the importance of standing up for herself and the power of love and support. As she looked at Ollie, who was now her husband, she knew that she was lucky to have him by her side. And as they walked into their new home, hand in hand, she knew that they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, together. That's it from the story. I hope you like, share this with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I'll meet you soon with another one. Until then, bye.